Good morning, everybody. It's Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and welcome to a new crochet along. We will be learning Tunisian crochet together. I have never done it before, and I thought we could learn this together, and I'm going to do just like I did with the crochet along. I will search for stitches for us to learn, and I did buy a book. I bought this one here, and there's a link for this book in the description box. And I was thinking I might try to work through the stitches in this book by see if I can find tutorials already on YouTube for these stitches. I wouldn't probably recommend this book, I hate to say, simply because it's very hard to see what they're doing in these pictures. I can't really cipher it, but this is basically just going to be the guide for the stitches I want to learn. So we'll work our way through this book, and I meant to count these up. Oh, they're numbered. So let me just go to the back of the book and I'll tell you. There's a lot of stitches in here. There's some projects. 50 stitches. This book contains 50 stitches. I don't know if we'll be able to do all of them or not, because I don't know if there's tutorials out there for all of them. All right, so this is just going to be like our guide. If you want to purchase this book, you can, but I'm going to try to find us video tutorials, not try to learn from this actual book. This will just be kind of a guide to the stitches. So we're going to start with just a basic Tunisian crochet. And what I'm thinking, oh, wait, you will also need Tunisian crochet hooks. Mary Lou was telling me yesterday she has a double-ended one that has a crochet hook on each end, but you really want to make sure you have a stop while you're learning so that your stitches don't work off. Because Tunisian crochet, you work a chain, then you work the chain onto the hook, then you work the chain back off the hook, and so on. You're going back and forth. Back to this book. It does have a really good what all the abbreviations are. If you want to learn to read the patterns, and it tells you how to read charts. So it does have some good information. The actual stitch tutorial, maybe not so much. I hate reading charts. I would rather have it just written out, which they do in here. They have it written out. But you've got to be able to read some of these charts too. And I hate reading charts. I'm more of a give me the words kind of girl, or give me a video. So anyway, we're going to do a basic Tunisian block. And what I did is I did a chain of 20, and I'm using this Karen Simply Soft. I have it in 3 colors that I got at the Goodwill. So this is my plan. Each week I'll switch to a different color, and we're going to create little blocks. And if you do the 20 stitches, you come out with a block that is about 5 1/4 inch square. And what I did, I don't know how many rows I did. I guess I could count them, but I just kept doing the pattern, which is just the basic Tunisian stitch, until I could fold this in half and it made a perfect triangle, because then I know I have it square. So it looks like that. And this is the back of it. This is what your back will look like. And this is the front. And the tutorials are brought to you by Bella Coco Crochet, and the links are in the description box. And I'm using the Simply Soft and a 5mm Tunisian hook. And the reason I'm using this size is if you look on your skeins of yarn, this is the size of the yarn, a size 4. But I always consider this particular brand to be a little narrower. I meant to get like a skein of Red Heart out because it looks thicker and it doesn't work up the same as this. So I'm considering this a lighter 4. But then you see this X here, that's 2 knitting needles, and that tells you the size of the knitting needle. And if you did your swatch of 18 stitches by 24 rows, it should measure 4 by 4 or 4 by 4 inches or 10 by 10 centimeters. If you are doing something like a sweater or something that has to be fitted, always do a swatch. When I'm doing blankets, I don't do swatches. And then you come over one more. This is one that you need to look at. There's a little crochet hook in the middle, and it says if you do 13 stitches by 14 rows, you should have the 4 by 4 or the 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter. So that's what you need to know. And I am going to let you go watch the videos now. There are 2 videos simply because the first one shows you how to do the basic stitch going back and forth. The second video will show you how to change colors if you want to. If you don't want to have just a solid square like this, you can watch that video and learn how to change colors. But toward the end of the video, it shows you how to cast off or to finish your row. So you finish with what looks like a chain on the top. It's hard to see. But that's why you have to watch the second one, whether you don't want to change color or not. It's got a lot of good information in it on how to finish off your square. And then the last thing, there was something else I was going to say. Oh, now I was thinking I could make a blanket with these squares if we did all 50 squares, which I don't know if I'll be able to find tutorials for those. We'll see what happens. But we could either make a baby blanket with these 5.5-inch squares or a lap gan, depending on how many we actually get made. Or if you wanted to attach a label to each one with like the date, the channel that you learned it from, who brought us the tutorial, and the stitch, and attach it with a pin. When we're done, we could maybe bind these into a little Tunisian book of all the stitches that we've learned together. And but I'll leave that up to you. However you want to use your blocks is entirely up to you. So once again, this is the front, and you can see here at the beginning where I was having trouble with the tension. Don't beat yourself up if your square doesn't turn out completely exactly perfect until you learn how to handle these hooks. Even I had some wonky here at the top, and then it gets better the farther you go down the block here. So be patient with yourself, give yourself some grace, and it'll look fine. Even with my wonky bit here at the beginning, I still think this is a pretty square, and I'm learning. So we're learning this together. All right. I hope you enjoy this new crochet along, and I will see you next Friday for the stitch number 2 in here is called a Tunisian tweed. So we're going to use 2 colors next week, if I can find the tutorial. If not, I might try to learn it from this book. We'll see. But anyway, see you next Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye.